In the year 378 at Adrianople in modern Turkey, the Emperor Valens led his army into battle against Goths from the north. It was time to teach them a lesson and make them submit to the strength of Rome. Rome had learned a bitter lesson. It could no longer rule by military might alone. It would have to negotiate with the barbarians. Forced to accommodate the barbarians, Romans began to feel threatened. Intolerance and resentment grew. Special scorn was reserved for the Huns, the nomads from Central Asia who had pushed other barbarian groups westward in the first place. They too now appeared on the frontiers of empire. Alaric, leader of the Goths, settled his people inside the northern frontier, and he wanted a dignified coexistence with Rome. And so, in the year 410, for the first time in almost 1,000 years, Romans awoke to find an enemy army camped just outside the city. They couldn't believe it. Alaric's demands were reasonable. All he wanted for his people was part of the Danube River Valley in what is now Austria. But Rome refused. Furious, Alaric laid siege to the city. In addition, he demanded 5,000 pounds of gold, 3,000 pounds of silver, 4,000 silk tunics, 3,000 scarlet-dyed skins, and 3,000 pounds of pepper. "Will you leave us with nothing?" asked the Roman envoys. Alaric replied, "If you give us what we want, you can keep your lives." Rome held back, procrastinated, and Alaric lost patience. Barbarian slaves threw open the city gates, and the Goths poured in and sacked the city. Proud Rome was finally brought to its knees. The empire was now divided in half. The eastern section remained strong. But as barbarians overran the west, Romans everywhere were terrified the end was near. But their worries did not come to pass. The world did not end, and the barbarians didn't engage in much destruction. Goths, Visigoths, Vandals, and other German tribes streamed out of Central Europe and spread throughout the western Mediterranean. To everyone's surprise, they tried to live peacefully alongside the Romans. Alaric's sack of Rome in 410 was not the end. The Eastern Empire remained strong. From its wealthy cities in Turkey and the Middle East, it viewed the disintegration of the West with growing detachment. It would slowly become the Byzantine Empire, although it was considered Roman for many more centuries.